also been working on a torn and restored, because I used to do the Reformation, and which I love and it's great, but it's not super practical unless you're Guy Hollingworth. And
right.
I could do it, but I preferred to do it virtual, and I never really I tried it in person, and it's so angle sensitive. So I was looking for a better one, so I ended up settling on. Do you know many torn and restored? Do you do any? Or?
The torn and restored card that I do is the OG Daniel Garcia one, torn.
Okay, so I picked that up like 2 days ago. Yeah.
Nice.
And that's the one I ended up going with, because it's, you know what? The only thing that's like not as good as the Reformation is the fact that the card is like turned the other way. But that doesn't matter at all, in my opinion, because they sign the back of the card.
Sorry to cut you off, but I just remembered another torn and restored card that I was working on. It's called Ripped and Fried by Charlie Fry, I think his name is. It's on the it's crazy. It's like, I'll have to show it to you, but it's like the woman side of the box getting sawed in half with playing cards, and it's like almost like the warp card, but it's a torn and restored. Yeah, it's like that idea with cards. It's like, it's crazy. Like, let me show you. I can't do it right now. It's like there's a card in here like this. Like, you show them, like, it's almost like the card warp thing, right? But like, you rip this whole thing in half like this. This is really what it looks like in real time. And then you put these back together, and then the long part is restored again somehow. It's crazy.
Okay, question. Is it gimmicked?
No, it's not gimmicked at all.
Is it does it take any real setup, or just like fold the card here and
there's a small setup that you can accomplish while you're doing it, yeah.
Sounds good. Because, so like I was saying, like, Reformation's great, but then like the only thing it beat Torn, in my opinion, was that you could do it facing them, but then Torn, they sign the back of the card, so it doesn't really make a difference at the end of the day. And Torn is so much easier. Like, if you learn the Reformation, I don't know if you've ever played with it, it's freaking hard.
Kinda. It's just Torn is, like you said, is a lot better, right, in my opinion.
It's very hard, and then like once you get the Reformation, like I got to the point where I was comfortable performing it, but it had to be like the right conditions. And now that moving to Torn, like I'm pretty much comfortable doing it now. In like a day, I've been playing with it, because it's just about remembering the moves, but still sharpening up. A couple of times the card slips a little bit or whatever. But
right.
I found
even Torn sometimes is a little bit difficult, but it's worth
it. It is.
Because last time I did it, the chick said it was the coolest thing she'd ever seen in her life. So.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, and I love that you don't have to put anything in your mouth. And like, I think like the idea of ditching those cards in the pocket and never taking them back, when I saw that, I was like, brilliant.
I don't know if you ever seen when I went on Spidey's live, the trick I did. I saw that just the other day. Yeah, and that was probably over a year ago now. But
you know that I was also on a Spidey live.
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah. That's where I found you, actually. That's the first time I heard of you. It was totally random. I would tune into them when I had time. I tuned in and I saw your Don't Tell Me. So you did Aces. It was like a small card, small packet, sort of.
Yeah,
or
it was my take on the sympathetic cards.
Sympathetic, yeah.
Dude, I was so nervous. I thought I was going to pass out that day. Like, I was like, I couldn't even barely talk.
Dude, I remember I found out Friday I was going to be on, and the thing was on Sunday, right? And it's funny how, so I commented on his Instagram thing because I saw it like early, and then I told all my friends, I was like, go like that comment. So I had like so many likes.
Nice.
And I was hoping that would work. I don't know if that worked, but it was funny. I just thought that was a funny little note. And because my YouTube channel had like 20 subscribers, I think, when I went on, and so I had a few ideas in mind, but I decided I wanted to do something original. So I went with like the super, like one of the most sleight of hand intense tricks that I do.
Yeah.
So like, man, there's like, I got Tenkai Pawn, Gambler's Cop. I have a switch Tenkai into Gambler's Cop with a load and the freaking.
You could have been a self-worker, man.
I could have, yeah. And so anyway, I practiced it literally that entire weekend. I spent like every day just like, I could do it, but I wanted to make sure like I nail it, no flashing, and I did. So I mean, there's a few moments obviously looking back that I'm like, oh, I wish I would have done that better or whatever, but I didn't flash or anything. So overall, I was happy with it, and it was a lot of fun too. Yeah, a lot of fun. I'm glad I got to.
It was definitely a learning experience performing for Spidey, because like it taught me what to do and what not to do in those situations. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had a couple ideas. I was gonna do so. If you said you recently saw the one I did, so that one, it's like the card appears under the hand and stuff.
Yeah.
And I actually, which was cool. He told me after that I actually fooled him on the second phase of that, which was brilliant. Yeah, and it was honestly pretty simple. I literally came up with that method of doing it like a few days before, and I changed it just for that routine. I was like, I'm gonna do this instead.
Oh yeah.
Because so anyway, I'll explain because I feel so. What I was doing, right, is I would like take the card for the second phase, and I'd like push it through the deck into a cop, and then I'd show this hand empty. And then I'd come like this and I'd push it into Tenkai. But at first I was doing it in the classic palm. But then I was like, how like bad does this look, right? So I was like, I want to be able to open my fingers. So then I was like, okay, kind of with Tenkai, but then you have the weird thumb. So what I realized, if I like, before I performed, I'd go like this and get my hands a little sweaty. And then I could just do this. So that whole thing, the card is just sticking to my hand back here. And then it looked like, because my hands are not warm enough yet, but it looked totally free, and I could like, anyway.
Nice.
So that's and it looks really good. And then, yeah, a lot of other subtleties. But